the Oval Office, a place of power, a place of history. It has witnessed countless decisions that have shaped the world, and today, it stands as the arena for a monumental clash. And on this day, it transforms into a battleground of ideologies and ambitions. In one corner, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, a figure both revered and reviled, known for his boldness and unyielding stance, a man known for his unpredictability, his ruthlessness, his ability to command a room with just a glance. In the other, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, a titan of tech, a master of innovation, a leader who has steered Apple to unprecedented heights. The issue? India. More specifically, Apple's growing presence in the subcontinent, a market with immense potential and strategic importance. "I don't want you building in India," Trump reportedly told Cook, his voice like a thunderclap. The words echoed with the weight of authority. "We're not interested in you building in India," he reiterated, leaving no room for misinterpretation. "India can take care of themselves." The message was clear. It was a directive, not a suggestion. This was not a request. It was an order, a command from the highest office in the land, a demand from one of the world's most powerful men to one of its most influential CEOs. The stakes? Immeasurable. The tension? Palpable. For Apple, billions of dollars in investment. A chance to solidify its foothold in a burgeoning market. For India, millions of jobs. An opportunity to boost its economy and technological landscape. And for the world, a glimpse into the future of global trade. A future where economic powerhouses clash and collaborate. A future where the lines between politics and business are not just blurred but completely erased. Where decisions in boardrooms echo in the halls of power. This was not a negotiation, this was a declaration. A statement of intent from a leader unafraid to wield his power. Trump, the self-proclaimed master of the deal, had spoken. His words were final, his tone unyielding. But would Tim Cook, a man known for his quiet defiance, obey? Would he bend to the will of the president or stand firm in his vision for Apple? The world watched, holding its breath. The outcome of this confrontation would ripple across continents, affecting economies and industries alike. Why India? Why now? The question seems simple, but the answer is anything but straightforward. The answer, like most things in international politics, is complicated. It involves a web of economic interests, strategic alliances, and historical tensions. But one word hangs over the entire ordeal: China, the Middle Kingdom, the world's factory floor. A nation that has become synonymous with manufacturing and global trade. And Apple's biggest manufacturing hub, a place where millions of iPhones are assembled, tested, and shipped worldwide. Trump has long railed against China, their trade practices, their intellectual property theft, their growing economic might. He has made it a cornerstone of his political agenda. Apple, with its vast manufacturing apparatus in China, has become a pawn in this geopolitical chess match, a bargaining chip in a larger game of power and influence. "We've been very good to Apple," Trump stated, implying that Apple owed the United States for its success. His words carried weight and a veiled warning. It was a not-so-subtle threat. A clear message that the U.S. government expected loyalty and cooperation, a reminder of the power the U.S. government wielded, a power that could shape the fortunes of even the largest corporations, a power it was not afraid to use. The stakes were high, and the message was clear. Trump's message to Cook, and indeed to the world, was unambiguous. You're either with us, or you're against us. There was no room for ambiguity. There was no middle ground, no room for compromise. The lines had been drawn and everyone had to choose a side. The world waited with bated breath for Apple's response. Would they bow to pressure? Would they defy the president? The silence was deafening. No press releases, no tweets from Tim Cook, no carefully worded statements from anonymous sources. This was unusual for Apple, a company known for its meticulously crafted public image, its tight control over information. But this time, they were silent. Were they strategizing behind closed doors? Were they trying to gauge the public's reaction? Or were they simply stunned by the audacity of Trump's demand? Whatever the reason, the silence was unnerving. It spoke volumes. It hinted at the high stakes involved. It was the quiet before the storm. And everyone knew it was only a matter of time before the storm hit. Section 4, the market trembles. The stock market, that fickle beast, reacted predictably with fear. The tremors were felt across the globe, sending shockwaves through every financial hub. Apple shares, a bellwether for the tech industry, dipped by 1% in pre-market trading. A small dip, yes, but it was enough to cause ripples of concern. But a significant one nonetheless. Investors were on edge, watching every move with bated breath. It was a sign of the uncertainty that gripped the market. The storm clouds were gathering and everyone could feel the tension. The fear of what a trade war between the US and India, two of the world's largest economies, would mean for the global economy. The stakes were incredibly high. Investors, those masters of the universe, were left scratching their heads. The usual strategies seemed inadequate. What did this mean for Apple's future? The tech giant was at a crossroads. Would they be forced to choose between the US and China? The implications were enormous. Between their principles and their profits, the market hates uncertainty. And this was the epitome of uncertainty. And this situation was nothing if not uncertain. The fog of doubt clouded every decision. It was a high-stakes game of poker. Every move was scrutinized, every decision weighed, and no one knew who was holding the winning hand. The tension was palpable, and the stakes had never been higher. Section 5. A deal with the devil. Adding another layer of intrigue to this already tangled web was Trump's mention of a potential trade deal with India. "We're working on a trade deal with India," he announced, as if offering a consolation prize that would eliminate Indian tariffs on US goods. Was this a coincidence, or a calculated move? Was Trump using Apple as leverage in his negotiations with India? Was he dangling the carrot of a trade deal in one hand while wielding the stick of economic punishment in the other? The timing was certainly suspicious. The message was clear. India, you want to be friends with America? You want access to our market? Then tell Apple to get lost. Section 6. India, the escape route. For Apple, India represented more than just a market, it represented an escape route. A way to diversify its supply chain away from China, a hedge against the growing trade tensions between the US and China. Apple, like many other multinational companies, had been caught in the crossfire of the US-China trade war. Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods had hurt Apple's bottom line. Their manufacturing base in China had become a liability. India, with its vast pool of cheap labor and its growing middle class, was the obvious alternative. But Trump's ultimatum threatened to derail Apple's plans. It forced them to choose sides. It turned India from a potential partner into a potential battleground. Section 7. A world held hostage. The implications of this standoff extend far beyond Apple. It is a microcosm of the challenges facing the global economy. The rise of protectionism, the weaponization of trade, the erosion of trust between nations. The world is watching, holding its breath. Will this escalate into a full-blown trade war? Will it further fragment the global economy? Or will cooler heads prevail? One thing is certain, the world is at a crossroads. The decisions made today will have profound consequences for generations to come. The stakes have never been higher. The future has never been more uncertain.